Have you ever felt like there is a silent void in their life? A sensation that something essential is missing, like a piece that simply doesn't fit? And when they try to find answers, it's as if nothing is enough. As if nothing can fill this absence or explain this constant feeling that something else should happen, that someone should appear, that a truth still needs to be revealed. Imagine waking up every day with a timid, perhaps even forgotten hope, that this void will finally disappear. But as the day goes by, everything remains the same. The same sense of distance, of something that should be within reach, but remains outside of their life. They have tried to ignore it, to move on, but still, the heart insists on seeking something. Something they can't even describe. It's as if a promise is being silently made to them, but with no answers, no explanations. And the worst part is, with each passing day without this answer, this sensation of being so close to something, but never being able to reach it, only grows. The anguish of not knowing what is missing, of seeing the pieces of their life in place, but feeling like one is missing, and that perhaps that piece is all they need to fill their heart. This can be overwhelming. They are not alone in this quest. In fact, this moment is the starting point to discover something deeper, something that can finally light up this path so silent and seemingly lonely. It's time to turn this search into reality. Click now to sign up and allow every message that reaches you to bring a new clue, a new light to what they have been seeking. This is the moment to make a commitment to themselves, to tell the universe that they are ready for the answers, for the fullness, to understand what has always seemed so distant. Sign up now, and write in the comments, "I am open to the truth I need to discover." By doing this, they declare to themselves and to the universe that they are ready to fill this void, to receive the guidance that will soon be available with each touch, with each new notification. Now is the time to act. Sign up, and start your journey of answers, because what they are about to discover will transform this feeling of emptiness into a journey of love, light, and revelations. Today, the angels sent a message that seems to flow directly to their heart. They have been closely watching the bond they share with a special person. There is something very deep and spiritual that connects them, and this is felt both by them and by that person. However, no matter how close they get, there is something that persists in keeping a barrier between them. It's as if an invisible force prevents this connection from fully blossoming, even with all the signs indicating the intensity of the feeling between them. This person in question carries a genuine admiration, affection that goes beyond what they can express. In each meeting, in each moment of closeness, a feeling of completeness, of familiarity, arises, as if their souls recognized each other in a way that transcends time and space. However, as soon as this flame ignites, there is also a resistance, a hesitation, as if something were preventing them from taking the next step. And this resistance often creates a distance they feel intensely, something that resembles an invisible barrier that they seem unable to overcome. The angels reveal that this person is going through a moment of intense internal struggle. What they feel for you touches very sensitive areas of their soul, areas they would rather keep untouched. The depth of this connection, instead of being a source of security, ends up being a reason for unease and often fear. They are afraid that by completely surrendering, they will have to confront old fears and pains they preferred to ignore. And it is precisely this depth that makes everything more challenging, because what they feel for you is not just a passing attraction or a superficial feeling. Inside them, there is a battle between the desire to get closer and the fears that arise as feelings intensify. The angels see that they think of you with a frequency that perhaps even you do not imagine. There are times when they allow themselves to dream, to imagine how it would be if barriers did not exist and they could finally express everything they hold in their heart. However, whenever these thoughts become too intense, there is also a need to step back, to protect themselves from the possibility of exposing themselves and eventually getting hurt. These fears do not have to do with lack of interest or feeling, but with the depth and intensity that this connection awakens. When two souls meet in such a captivating way, like theirs, they not only touch the visible layers, but also penetrate into places that reveal everything that we prefer to keep hidden. In their case, this connection leads them to confront parts of themselves that have not yet been fully understood or resolved. They find themselves in front of a mirror that reflects their own vulnerabilities, insecurities, and this scares them. The angels want you to know that this person greatly admires your essence, your strength, and the way you radiate light. To them, you represent a kind of lighthouse, something that illuminates the darkest parts of their life. But at the same time, it is this same light that reveals the shadows they have tried to hide for so long. They do feel a deep love and a desire to be by your side, but this desire is accompanied by a series of internal questioning, doubts, and even fear. Therefore, the barrier that seems to exist between you is not a matter of conscious choice, but of a protection that this person, perhaps unconsciously, has built around themselves. The angels show me that they have been hurt in past situations, and these wounds, still not completely healed, end up influencing their ability to fully trust what they feel for you. This distancing, painful as it may be, is not a rejection, but a way for them to handle their own emotions without feeling overwhelmed. The angels ask me to tell you that their role in this connection is to be a firm and calm presence, someone who can offer security without invading, who is constantly by this person's side, but without pressure. Their light has already been enough to help them see what lies behind their own defenses, but now is the time to allow them to discover their way to overcome these barriers. They also want you to understand that each soul's time is different. Although you are ready to surrender, to open your heart and live this connection to its fullness, this person still needs a little more time to feel safe and confident. And in this process, your patience will be an important key. The angels ask you to keep your heart open and continue radiating this light that is already helping this person find their answers. Before moving forward, the angels suggest that you write the phrase, "I open myself to true love" in the comments, as a way to reaffirm your commitment to this journey of love and patience. By doing so, you will be inviting the angels to work alongside you, slowly dissolving the barriers that still exist and strengthening the connection you both share. This is only the first part of the revelation the angels have for you. With each step of this message, they will guide you to a deeper understanding of the role you have in this person's life and the spiritual mission this connection represents. Allow these words to find a space in your heart and let the angels continue to lead this process with love and serenity. The angels continue to reveal layers of this connection, guiding you to a deeper understanding of what is really happening between you. They know how much this person touches their heart, how much they wish for this bond to flourish without the constraints currently keeping them apart. That's why today they bring an understanding of the forces at play around this connection and what you can do to nurture this bond positively, respecting this person's time and processes. Many times, this person finds themselves drawn to you in a way they themselves cannot understand. It's an attraction that goes beyond logic, something that seems to defy any attempt at rational explanation. The angels show that in their thoughts, you appear recurrently, and each time this happens, a mix of emotion and apprehension takes hold of them. They question why your presence is so constant in their mind, why they can't simply push away this feeling or detach themselves from the intensity you both share. This mysterious attraction that makes them think of you, even unwillingly, is one of the greatest proofs that there is something very special between you. The angels reveal that this person feels a connection that goes beyond what they're used to, something that touches deep and spiritual levels. They somehow know that this bond is unlike the others they've had, that you have something more significant, a kind of mission or purpose to fulfill together. It's this awareness that often scares them because for them, this kind of connection requires a level of dedication, a vulnerability that perhaps they don't feel ready to experience yet. This fear of surrender, of the unknown, is what raises the barrier that keeps them from being fully together. For this person, allowing themselves to feel something so deep is like opening a door to their own fears and insecurities. They fear that, by opening up to you, they might have to face parts of themselves that they have preferred to ignore until now. There is an internal struggle within them between the desire to allow themselves to experience this love and the fear of losing themselves or getting hurt in the process. The angels explain that in order for this barrier to be dissolved, a process of self-discovery on their part is necessary, something that requires patience and understanding. They need to gradually recognize that these fears stem from past experiences, from wounds that have not yet been fully healed. And you, on your part, can assist them in this journey by being a constant and secure presence, someone who inspires trust without pressuring them. The role that the angels assign to you is that of a subtle guide, a person who, with your own serenity, teaches the value of patience and acceptance. They ask you to set aside any expectations about the time this process may take, because every step that this person takes towards their own heart also brings them closer to you. They want you to know that your ability to wait, to remain open and receptive, will be rewarded. Furthermore, the angels want you to focus on strengthening your own light. They show that when you are aligned with your purpose, when you radiate security and love, this person feels that magnetism even more intensely. They perceive, even unconsciously, that being by your side is like being in a safe harbor, a place where they can finally be themselves, without fear of judgment or rejection. And it is precisely this security that they offer that is helping that person to gradually lower the defenses they have built over time. The angels show that they have already started to realize that the barrier separating them from you is not insurmountable, that there is a real possibility of overcoming their own fears and allowing love to flourish. However, they need to do this at their own pace, so that this healing process is true and lasting. There is an important detail that the angels ask you to observe, small signs that this person demonstrates without realizing. Maybe it's a longer look, a loving word, an unexpected attitude that reveals their affection. These gestures, however small they may seem, are proof that this person is gradually finding ways to express what they feel. It is a gradual but true opening that indicates that the barrier is starting to dissolve. The angels want you to welcome these signs with gratitude and realize that each of them is a step towards building this relationship. They also want you to know that these small gestures are not easy for them. Every time they allow themselves to show something, they are facing their own fears and testing the limits of their own resistance. And it is this courage, albeit timid, that should be encouraged and embraced by you. Now, before moving on to the next part of the message, the angels ask you to allow yourself a few moments of reflection. Write in the comments, "I am patience and light," so that they can further strengthen this energy within you. The journey you are on is not simple, but it is full of lessons and a love that is consolidating with each step, with each gesture of understanding and affection. Throughout this message, the angels will continue to guide them, revealing the next steps and helping them find a balance between being a constant presence and giving the necessary space for that person to also find their own strength. Remember, what is being built between them is something enduring and true, and every moment of patience is a foundation for the love they both desire. As this message delves deeper, the angels continue to reveal the subtle dynamics of this connection, those that often remain hidden between the lines, in the looks, in the pauses of conversations, and even in moments of silence. There is, between them and that person, an intense and transformative exchange of energy that acts as a magnet, pulling them towards each other, even when circumstances seem to put obstacles in their way. This force is so powerful that it transcends logic and reason, leading them to question the real purpose of being in each other's lives. That person feels something in them that they cannot find in anyone else. The angels show that they embody a kind of love that they have never known before, a love that does not seek only momentary pleasure, but rather a deep connection that touches the spirit. However, this depth also triggers in them a series of doubts and insecurities that are often difficult to deal with. For them, allowing themselves to love and be loved at this level means letting go of old patterns, of beliefs that have kept them safe for a long time. This invisible barrier that separates them has deep roots. The angels reveal that in their past, this person experienced moments of pain that left marks on their soul, marks that now manifest as fears of surrender, vulnerability, and trusting again. They fear that by opening up to this connection with you, all these wounds will come to the surface, and this requires a strength that, in many moments, they believe they do not have. But the angels want you to know that your presence in their life already represents a healing, even if they do not realize it. The love you radiate, your patience, your care, and your understanding are touching parts of them that were dormant. It's as if each of your gestures were a subtle flame that illuminates the shadows within them, revealing a possibility of love that they had not yet experienced. The angels show that, although this person struggles to maintain this protective barrier, there are moments when they allow themselves to feel how important you are. And in those moments, they imagine themselves by your side, free from the fears and insecurities that now torment them. As difficult as it may be for them, this connection represents a unique opportunity for transformation, growth, and self-awareness. The angels want you to understand that your mission together is more than just living a romantic relationship. You have been placed in each other's lives to help each other evolve, to overcome internal barriers, and to awaken a love that goes beyond the experiences you have already lived. For this to happen, however, one must respect the timing of each soul. Even though you are ready to surrender, to live this connection to its fullest, they still need to work on themselves, facing their own fears and accepting the changes that this relationship will bring. And it is here that the angels ask you for a little more patience, a little more faith in the unfolding process. They ensure that every act of waiting, every moment of understanding, is being recorded in the spiritual realm and will serve as the foundation for strengthening this union. The angels also show that there are spiritual forces acting around both of you, encouraging this process of healing and closeness. When you think of this person fondly, when you send positive thoughts, or even when you pray for them, you are contributing to these spiritual forces acting with even greater intensity. It's as if each of your thoughts were a bridge connecting both hearts, softening the barriers and allowing this person to start feeling secure enough to open up. This connection is not merely a coincidence, but rather a choice made in the spiritual realm even before you both incarnated. Your souls already knew each other, had already decided to meet in this life to complete a cycle of learning and healing. This encounter was unavoidable, as there is a greater purpose that binds you, something that transcends the current challenges and extends beyond what human eyes can see. And that is precisely why this bond seems so intense, so inevitable. However, the angels emphasize that each of you has an important role to play in strengthening this bond. In their case, the role is to remain steadfast in their light, being an inspiration of serenity and trust so that that person feels they are not alone. For them, the role is to overcome their own resistances, to confront the deepest parts of themselves, and to open their heart to a love experience that transcends fear. There is something else the angels want you to realize: the spiritual growth that this journey has brought to you. Perhaps at another time, you had impatience, a rush for everything to happen quickly, but now you are beginning to understand that true love is built on solid foundations, respecting each one's timing, and strengthened through understanding. They show that by living this process, you are also being healed, learning to love in a purer way, detached from pressures or expectations. The angels ask you to keep nurturing your own spiritual journey, to find strength and light within yourself. They want you to remember that the more you connect with your essence, the more attractive this light becomes to that person. Your own evolution is an invitation for them to also come closer, to feel the comfort and peace that you radiate, and gradually overcome their own fears. You don't need to do anything other than be who you are, allowing your authenticity to be a mirror for that person to find courage within themselves. Now, before moving on to the next part, the angels suggest that you write in the comments, "I trust in divine timing," as a way to reaffirm their faith in the process. This statement is a surrender, a permission for the universe to act in their lives, guiding each step and dissolving every barrier in the right time. By doing this, you'll be contributing to align the energies around you, creating a conducive environment for this connection to flourish with tranquility and harmony. The next steps of this message will bring even more clarity about the role you play in each other's lives, helping you understand what to expect and how to better support this process. Keep your heart open, as the angels are by your side, ready to continue revealing the profound truths that this bond carries. Now that the angels have already paved the way to understand the depth of this connection, they bring a revelation that can further illuminate the mission you both have together. You and that person have been placed in each other's lives not only to live a love story, but to be instruments of mutual healing. There is, between you, a purpose that transcends what we usually know as a common relationship. The angels show me that this bond was destined even before both of your births, as part of a greater plan, where each would have the role of helping the other overcome internal barriers and discover a higher version of themselves. This person, although they may not fully understand yet, has already started to feel the depth of this bond. In their quietest reflections, in the moments when they allow themselves to feel without questioning, a perception arises that there is something rare between you, something that challenges all their previous beliefs about love and surrender. They feel that being by your side brings a sense of peace they don't find elsewhere, a familiarity that makes them feel at home. However, it is this same peace, this feeling of vulnerability and comfort, that awakens in them the fear of losing control. For them, love has always been associated with an idea of vulnerability and risk, something that, through past experiences, they have learned to avoid. The angels reveal that throughout life, they have built a kind of armor to protect themselves from hurt and disappointments. This armor was a form of emotional survival, but now it has become a barrier that prevents them from fully living the love they feel for you. Deep down, they know that to be truly by your side, they will need to let go of this protection, and this leaves them torn between the desire to surrender and the fear of getting hurt again. The angels show me that you have the power to help them soften these barriers, but not through insistence or asking them to change. The power lies in your ability to embrace, to be patient, and to demonstrate, through small gestures, that true love does not bring restraints or pressures. Your calm and understanding presence is the greatest remedy for the insecurities this person carries. Every word of understanding, every supportive glance, every time you allow them to express themselves without judgment, is a way to unravel the layers of this invisible armor. This journey, although challenging, is deeply enriching as well. The angels want you to understand that the path you are walking with this person is awakening forces within you that you may not have known you had. They want you to realize that this patience and unconditional love are not a burden, but a gift that you carry within yourself. You are, in their eyes, a kind of refuge, a safe harbor that requires nothing but authenticity, and that is rare and precious. However, the angels also ask you to stay firm on your own journey, not to abandon your own desires and evolution. It's important that while you support this person in their process, you continue to take care of your light, strengthen your spirit, and nurture your personal happiness. They explain that the more you grow and fill yourself with self-love, the easier it will be for this person to see in you an example of how true love can be liberating and safe. The angels wish for you to understand that your role is not to save this person, but to inspire them to see that love can be a place of peace. They see that in your heart there is a deep desire to see them happy and complete, and it is precisely this pure and sincere desire that is helping them to change, little by little. But it is important to remember that their journey is unique, and their timing to face their own challenges may be different from yours. At every step, the angels will be by both of your sides, creating opportunities, guiding, and offering signs that will direct you in the right direction. And they ask you to pay attention to these signs. You may observe gestures of proximity from this person, or even subtle changes in their attitudes and words. These are indications that the spiritual and emotional work is happening slowly, but steadily. For many, a connection like the one they share is rare and transformative. They are here to learn and teach, to heal and be healed. The angels show that every moment of patience, every act of selfless love they offer, strengthens this journey and creates roots that will one day turn into a solid and enlightened relationship. Now the angels ask them to write in the comments, "I trust in the power of love," as a symbol of surrender, faith, and confirmation of what their hearts already know. By declaring this trust, they send a message to the universe that they are ready to embrace whatever is necessary for this journey, trusting that the love they are building is strong enough to overcome any challenge. They want them to know that this journey will not be in vain. Everything they are building, all the love and dedication they are investing, will come back to them in the form of happiness and fulfillment. This person, in their own time, will see the light they represent, and the angels are working to ensure that this awakening happens safely and peacefully. The upcoming revelations will bring even more clarity about the steps this person needs to take to feel ready, and how they can continue to be a positive and transformative influence in their life. Trust the process, because what the angels have in store for them is deeper and more rewarding than they can imagine. The angels now reveal the final stage of this message, an understanding that can further strengthen their faith and hearts. They want them to know that everything they and this person are experiencing is part of a preparation process for a more mature love, a love that is able to withstand storms and grow through difficulties. This love, built with patience and understanding, is a love that will bring peace and happiness to both when the right time comes. At this moment, the angels ask you to embrace trust and serenity, knowing that they are taking care of every detail of this connection. They show that the bond between you and that person is like a seed that has been planted in fertile soil. Over time, this seed will grow and become something solid and long-lasting. But like all seeds, it needs to be watered with patience, love, and respect for the natural growth time. That person, despite their fears, feels drawn to you in a way they can't explain. In their heart, there is a longing to get closer, to share their thoughts and feelings, but the fear of being vulnerable is still very present. The angels show me that at times they try to pull away, believing that by keeping a distance, they will preserve themselves from any future pain. However, the love they feel is stronger than any attempt to escape. The angels ask you to trust that soon that person will begin to feel an awakening towards what you share. They will be driven to take steps towards you, to show small gestures indicating their desire to be by your side. They may start sharing more about themselves, seeking your company more often, or even showing signs of vulnerability, which is a big step for them. These small advances are signs that spiritual work is taking place, that barriers are being softened, and that the connection between you is strengthening. The angels ask you to be patient and to recognize these gestures as the progress they are. Each opening, each moment of closeness, is an achievement that brings you closer to the full love you both deserve. Furthermore, the angels ask you to continue to maintain their own light. The more they take care of their spirituality, their inner peace, and their own path, the more attractive and inspiring that light becomes to that person. They explain that their personal evolution is one of the greatest influences on the transformation they are experiencing. The more they flourish, the more they feel the urge to accompany this growth. Now the angels ask you to write one last statement in the comments. I am ready to receive true love, declaring that you are open and receptive to what the universe and the angels have in store for you. This affirmation is like a portal that opens paths, allowing love to flow freely between you, dissolving barriers and bringing hearts closer. Finally, the angels share that everything invested in this bond will return in the form of blessings. This love, built with so much patience and faith, will be a source of joy and peace that will radiate beyond you, inspiring others around. The angels are preparing the ground for a relationship where love, respect, and understanding prevail over fears, and each passing day is another step towards this fulfillment. Trust that you are never alone on this journey. The angels are by your side, caring, guiding, and sustaining every moment of doubt and waiting. They know how capable you are of loving, how generous and dedicated you are, and that is why they are preparing for you a harvest of true love. Believe, dear soul, that what is to come is a divine blessing, an answer to your heart that loves so much. This love, in due time, will reveal itself in its fullness, and when that happens, you will understand that the entire journey was worth it. Your journey will not only be a love story, but also an example of overcoming, faith, and light that inspires and touches everyone around. May their path be blessed, and may the angels continue to guide them to the love they so desire and deserve. Now that the message has come to an end, and the love of the angels has touched their heart, I ask you to take a pause, take a deep breath, and feel. Feel the presence of the angels by your side. Feel the love they have placed in each word. Feel the power that exists in this unique connection destined only for you. Now, imagine what it would be like to have access to these messages of light and revelations always within your reach, in moments when your heart seeks answers and your soul cries out for guidance. This journey with the angels is just the beginning, and there is much more they want to reveal, much more they wish to share directly with you. But for this to happen, you need to make a commitment to your own path, to your own evolution. Click now to subscribe, not just for a moment, but as a promise to yourself that you are ready to receive all the light and love that the angels reserve for your heart. Imagine each new message as a direct hug from the universe, an answer to your deepest thoughts, a safe guidance in times of doubt. Subscribe now, and let each notification be a new door opened, a new blessing that reaches you. By subscribing, you affirm to the universe that you are ready to live in connection with what is true and powerful. Click to subscribe and write in the comments the affirmation: I open my life to the light and angelic guidance. By doing this, you activate something profound, an energy that begins to flow and brings the necessary strength to live each experience with more faith, with more security, and with the certainty that the angels are guiding each step of yours. Remember, all you need is that gesture, that commitment to yourself, which is now within your reach. Sign up and be part of this journey, because what the angels have reserved for you is infinitely more than any dream, and you deserve to live that reality.